In the 2014-15 season, the Golden State Warriors, hailing from San Francisco, rose to prominence without the addition of any major superstars. They emerged as a formidable force, finishing the regular season with a remarkable record of 67 wins and 15 losses, securing the top spot in the Western Conference. In the NBA Finals, they defeated LeBron James' Cleveland Cavaliers with a 4-2 series victory, claiming the championship. After a 40-year hiatus since the 1974-75 season, the Warriors finally achieved their long-awaited coronation. The NBA officially entered the era of small ball, with the Warriors single-handedly transforming the league's style of play, making the three-point shot their primary offensive weapon. This revolution was not only attributed to Curry and Thompson, also known as the Splash Brothers, but there was a key figure behind them who played a vital role in building this golden dynasty. Astonishingly, he led the team to a championship in his first coaching stint. He possessed a unique vision and exceptional coaching abilities. In the 1990s, he relied on his pinpoint shooting to help another team achieve a historic three-peat. His three-point shooting accuracy of 45.4% remains the highest in NBA history to this day. Unlike most players who achieve fame in their teens or 20s, he reached the pinnacle of his career at the age of 30. From that point forward, the majority of his basketball journey was closely associated with the word champion. He was crowned the league's three-point king in 1990 and 1995, boasting the highest three-point shooting percentage in NBA history. As both a player and a coach, he has accumulated a total of night championships across 3 different teams. Steve Kerr. In Kerr's family, apart from himself, no one else pursued a career related to basketball. They weren't even involved in sports. Kerr's father was a scholar who specialized in studying Middle Eastern issues and Arab world topics. He also served as a political science professor at UCLA. Due to his work, Kerr's father spent the majority of his time living in Lebanon. On September 27, 1965, Steve Kerr was born in the capital city of Lebanon, Beirut. From a young age, he developed a strong interest in basketball. During his college years, he aspired to join a prestigious basketball program. However, compared to his peers who aimed for a professional basketball career, Kerr was considered too small and thin. No university was willing to accept him. But due to his father's position as the president of the American University of Beirut in Lebanon, Arizona State University ultimately gave Kerr a chance. Once he joined the college team, Kerr's situation of being overlooked did not change. He was not just a bench player but the last player on the bench. The team labeled him as the 5th-string point guard, but Kerr's lack of performance on the college team didn't disappoint his father. On the contrary, his father felt proud that Kerr was pursuing what he loved and putting effort into it. The entire family gathered together on Christmas Day in 1983. They watched the recording of Kerr's first college game on the television. Although it took them a long time to spot Kerr's figure in the blurry footage, and Kerr only made a few shots, his father was extremely happy and couldn't stop smiling. He once said, "There are 2 happiest things in the world. The first is being a principal, and the second is watching Kerr play basketball." According to Kerr's brother's recollection, his father's smile during the video was the happiest moment he had ever seen him in his entire life. After the Christmas holiday, Kerr's hard work paid off as he moved up from the 5th-string guard to the 3rd-string guard on the team. Just as he saw a glimmer of hope on his basketball journey, a shocking tragedy struck. On January 18, 1984, Lebanon entered into a civil war, and a wave of anti-Western sentiment caused internal chaos in the country. Kerr's father was shot by terrorists in his office at the university, leaving this world at the age of only 52. Kerr received the news in the early hours of the morning. In the pitch-black night, he ran ceaselessly, refusing to accept this cruel reality. But for what had already happened, no matter how painful it was in his heart, he had to find strength to accept it. 2 days after his father's passing, Kerr took to the court as a substitute and made a long-distance shot. He finished the game with 7 out of 5 shots, helping his school and the new coach secure their first victory in the Pacific Division. Basketball became a place for Kerr to escape from the sadness in the following years. It was also the only way he could find solace after his father's passing. In 1988, during Kerr's senior year in college, he had just recovered from a torn ligament and was about to represent his school in a warm-up game against State University. A dozen fans on the opposing side shouted at Kerr, asking where his father was. These direct and hurtful comments instantly brought Kerr to tears. But soon, his inner desire to win pushed him to stand up once again. In the first quarter, he single-handedly scored 20 points, making all 6 of his three-point attempts. With a significant lead, he defeated the opponents and silenced them on the court. After the end of the 1988 academic year, Kerr was about to graduate, and entering the NBA was his only dream. If Kerr had said this before his senior year, no one would have believed him. He was an ordinary and slender white guard who, in terms of skills, didn't have anything extraordinary to compensate for his physical limitations. However, starting from the 1986 to 87 season, the NCAA officially established the three-point line. Kerr, who was already good at long-range shooting, finally found the most suitable scoring method for himself. With a three-point shooting percentage of over 60%, he earned an opportunity to compete in the NBA. In the 1988 NBA draft, the Phoenix Suns ultimately selected him with the 50th overall pick in the second round. After enduring for so long, Kerr finally entered the NBA at the age of 23. However, after entering the NBA, Kerr's life seemed to resemble the initial years of his college career. He silently waited on the team's bench for an opportunity to play. During his 1 year with the Phoenix Suns, he only appeared as a substitute in 26 games, averaging 5 to 6 minutes of playing time per game. His average statistics were 2.1 points, 0.7 rebounds, and 0.9 assists. But what set him apart from other bench players was Kerr's 47.1% three-point shooting percentage. Although the NBA at that time did not focus as much on the three-point shot as it does now, this shining aspect of Kerr's game became his bargaining chip to continue his career in the NBA. In his second year in the NBA, Kerr joined the Cleveland Cavaliers and played for 2.5 seasons. The Cavaliers were one of the few teams in the league that embraced three-point shooting. They set an NBA record with a three-point shooting percentage of 40.7% in the 1989-90 season, ranking first in the league. Kerr, in that year, even had a remarkable three-point shooting percentage of 50.7%. During his time with the Cavaliers, Kerr accumulated enough practical experience, and his playing time increased from 6 minutes to 18 minutes. In the 1992-93 season, Kerr briefly played for the Orlando Magic before joining the team that would change his NBA career, the Chicago Bulls. In the summer of 1993, Chicago's hero, Michael Jordan, announced his retirement. Kerr signed with the Bulls and received a stable amount of playing time. Starting from 1994, especially in a high-profile team like the Bulls, Kerr's three-point shooting ability came into the spotlight. In that year, Kerr had an impressive three-point shooting percentage of 52.4%, becoming the player with the highest single-season shooting percentage in NBA history. A year later, Michael Jordan returned to the Bulls with averages of 26.9 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game. Unfortunately, in the Eastern Conference semifinals that year, the Bulls lost to the Orlando Magic. However, Kerr's performance continued to improve. As a role player, he maintained a three-point shooting percentage of over 50%. Kerr relied on his shooting ability and averaged 22.4 minutes per game with a scoring average of 8.2 points for the Bulls. When Jordan returned to the NBA, his objective was clear: to lead the Bulls to create history once again and continue their pursuit of an NBA championship. To achieve this, Jordan was extremely demanding of himself on the training court, even during team practices and scrimmages. He treated his teammates as opponents and showcased his aggressiveness without reservation, aiming to completely overpower the defenders. However, when Jordan faced Kerr, who appeared to be mild-mannered, he didn't expect Kerr to hold back either. Both players gave their all and engaged in a fierce battle. As the competition intensified, physical confrontations arose, and Jordan and Kerr ended up throwing punches at each other. In a subsequent interview, Jordan explained that Kerr's elbow had struck him in the chest during their altercation, which instantly ignited his anger and led him to retaliate with a punch that landed directly on Kerr's eye. They then entered a full-blown brawl, exchanging blows. Kerr didn't care whether Jordan was revered as the basketball deity by many. At that moment, all Kerr knew was that he was upset and wanted to fight Jordan. Eventually, with the intervention of their Bulls teammates and coach, the altercation came to an end. Surprisingly, this incident didn't shake the morale within the Bulls. Instead, it brought them closer together. Jordan realized that Kerr, to some extent, shared his own stubborn and competitive nature. As a result, in the 1995-96 season, the Bulls achieved a record-breaking 72 wins and clinched the NBA championship. Kerr played a significant role in this season, with a shooting percentage of 50.6%. He had a three-point shooting percentage of 51.5% and a free throw shooting percentage of 92.9%. When you combine Kerr's performance in these three categories, it surpasses 190, making him the only player in NBA history to join the 190 club. After the successful season, the Bulls had only one goal in mind: to defend their title and win their fifth championship. In 1997, Kerr's three-point shooting percentage reached a new high of 53.3%. He even won the three-point contest during the All-Star weekend. The Bulls dominated the regular season with an 84.1% winning percentage, securing the top spot in the Eastern Conference. In the NBA Finals, they faced the Utah Jazz, led by Karl Malone and John Stockton. The Jazz, dubbed the strongest team in a decade by the media, had an impressive regular season record of 64 wins and 18 losses, second only to the Bulls. They boasted the league's best field goal percentage at 50.4% and had 38 wins on their home court. However, the Bulls had no fear, and the competition between the two teams was intense. The series went down to Game 6, with only 28 seconds remaining and the score tied at 86-86. In this critical moment where a single shot could decide the game, everyone wondered who the Bulls would entrust with the final shot. Surprisingly, Jordan, who was on the bench drinking his beverage, took a moment to reflect and said to Kerr that if Stockton came to double-team him, Kerr should be ready to receive the ball and be the key player this time. Kerr gave a thumbs up to Jordan, saying, "I'll be ready if he doubles you." When the players returned to the court, the situation unfolded just as Jordan predicted. Stockton came to double-team Jordan, who then passed the ball to Kerr at the mid-range. Kerr remained calm and composed. With only 6 seconds left, Kerr took the shot and made it, giving the Bulls the lead. The Bulls executed the most crucial shot, and it didn't come from Michael Jordan but from the sharpshooter who grew amidst adversity, Steve Kerr. Kerr's clutch shot helped the Bulls secure their 5th championship in franchise history. Kerr became the final and most crucial piece of the puzzle that made it all possible. In the 1997-1998 season, the Bulls were on the verge of their second three-peat, once again facing the Jazz in the NBA Finals. The Bulls defeated the Jazz 4-2, delivering a lamentable note to Utah, and completed their second three-peat. Afterward, the Bulls dynasty officially disbanded, with Phil Jackson, the Zen Master, and the Big Three all leaving Chicago. Kerr, in the twilight of his playing career, joined the San Antonio Spurs. In the 1998-1999 season, Kerr won his 4th championship as the Spurs defeated the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals with a 4-1 series victory. In the 2001-2002 season, Kerr had a brief stint with the Portland Trail Blazers for 1 year, but it was in the 2002-2003 season, Kerr's final season as a player, that he returned to the Spurs. During the NBA playoffs against the Dallas Mavericks, Kerr single-handedly made 4 consecutive three-pointers, helping the Spurs complete a 15-point comeback and advance to the NBA Finals. The Spurs defeated the New Jersey Nets 4-2, winning the NBA championship for the 2002-2003 season. Kerr announced his retirement after winning his 5th championship. As a player, Kerr said, "I knew my role on the court was to be the supporting cast since I entered the NBA. So no matter who I played with, I was clear about what I needed to do, and I strived to do it to the best of my ability." With 14 years of playing experience, Kerr understood what players wanted to learn and gain from coaches. Kerr's time under Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich helped him learn how to organize and lead a team. This knowledge played a crucial role in Kerr's subsequent success in winning championships with the Golden State Warriors. Kerr became beloved by Warriors fans for his accomplishments. For Kerr, the glory of his NBA playing career may have ended, but it is still worth remembering. The dynasty he built with the Warriors showcased the terror of the three-point shot.